Previously on No Reserves Radio.
Oh my God, Angelo! Come on, have some self-respect. The Eagles can't hurt you if you don't constantly pander to them.
Here's the biggest indictment of Dame that I can say. Dame has been so off this year that Ren went on live air and said Jalen Brunson deserved an all-star start over him.
You are now Angelo Didululo.
Do you think it is possible that the management of the Memphis Grizzlies are just buying into the reckless youth movement and they got rid of the one person in the locker room that probably was telling Ja to knock it off?
Because he's taken advantage of me multiple times when I was younger. That sounded bad. Holy shit.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think you're correct in that assessment.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of No Reserves Radio. With me, as always, is Alex. And Alex, do you even celebrate Thanksgiving?
Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on, Angela? No, actually, no. We did not celebrate Thanksgiving. It was just a regular Thursday here for us. So nothing like that. Yeah, we have nothing of sorts. I guess, at least comparable to the importance that you guys give to Thanksgiving. We have nothing alike, as far as I know.
It's the day we took over America, baby.
Where you're thankful for taking over America.
Mm-hmm.
I do need an explanation, though. I understand why you have the Thanksgiving games, and I understand why some of the choices are made. As, for example, apparently an NFC East game, especially the Cowboys, always needs to happen in that date. Whatnot, an NFC North game also always seems to happen. But what I do need to know is why, and the answer can't be because it's America, by the way. But why do we have a Black Friday game?
Because capitalism.
Okay, I got it. I guess that's close enough too, because America. So I figured that would be it.
It's because capitalism. It's the biggest shopping day of the year. So I am over I don't want to give too much out of my personal life, but I am over in an area, and today my sales were up 1,000%. So yes, it is the biggest shopping day in America. You want to associate that with football because of course it is. And if you're me, you want to celebrate that with a Jack and Coke, which, by the way, the thing that I'm thankful for is I have plenty of alcohol left over from Thanksgiving.
Okay, that's what everyone should be thankful for. Alcohol. Because America, right?
Absolutely. I got some Sam Adams beer in the fridge. I got, I got stuff, I got stuff for you, Alex. You can come on down. You can leave that shithole of a country you call Portugal, and you can come to a real country with real money and real alcohol. And
real money.
You can enjoy yourself.
Okay, and I can sit at 3 p.m. and watch Black Friday game, which again is a bit counterintuitive when you think about it.
Yeah, you can come into my living room. My living room has an 8K TV, and you can watch football in whatever the highest quality they broadcasted it. Absolutely.
Do they even broadcast it over 4K? My TV is 4K.
No, they don't.
So I was wondering, is there even anything higher than that right now that they broadcast it in? But yeah. Hey, or you can come in here and you have cheap gas and you have cheap things for your standards as well.
Gas?
Hey, no, it's more expensive. Yeah, never mind. I got it reversed. I was thinking that we actually have the cheaper gas, but no. Hey, but I guess cheaper housing then, according to your standards at least. Not for ours, because we're some poor fucks, but...
Yeah, you are some poor fucks.
We are some
Do
poor
you even
folks.
do you even use any material for your houses other than wood and mud? Just out of curiosity.
I do wonder if you think we are like some cavemen around here, or we just like live around in
An
caves
insult to
and live around
cavemen.
like in. Okay, got it. No, we actually make houses. We do not make them all that well because we tend to be very. I guess it was prior to this time, but in the past we used to be very cheap in terms of the materials that we use, so in terms of isolation and whatnot. The houses are really poor, the older houses, and now the newer ones. It's like it's okay. Like people are putting more importance on that. So yeah, older houses. It's not woods and mud, but it's not like all that well built either. So, but it's at like brick. It's at least brick. Let's put it at that.
Oh, you should be proud of yourself.
See, we're developing, Angelo. We're developing.
You're not really developing.
This might be the first time. I do not. No, I think it is the first time. This is the
What?
first
That
time
I
that we're.
broke you?
No, no, no. That we're recording a show while I'm watching an NFL game. So that's fun.
Well, congratulations.
See, this is. I believe this is the exact first time because we're
What are you,
recording this
what are you watching?
like
Oh, isn't this the Amazon game? This is
it's
the
the
Amazon game.
game. I'm watching the
This is
game
the
as we
game.
record. So I
This is the
can
game
break.
you're gonna get wrong.
This is the game that I might get wrong. I don't know what side I picked. I think it was last week. Weren't you with me on this one?
Hell no, I wasn't with you on any of them.
Nah, you
If I
must.
was with you, it's because I picked first and you agreed with me. Hold on, let's see. Let's go to the picks.
You are not with me. That's for sure.
No.
Hey, but KC is up 7, and I had KC minus 4, minus 13 and a half. And Kansas
Oh
City's
yeah, that
driving with
seems
about 11 minutes left in the third quarter.
you're doing so good, yeah. You're doing so good.
Hey, we'll see. We'll see. Um, so interesting enough. So
Hmm.
the Thanksgiving games are done. And I guess we'll start with some. We have a lot of things to talk about. I don't know what we're actually going to be able to address, as we already spent like 20 minutes talking about shitty Portugal, I guess. That's how you call it.
Oh, shitty Portugal,
Uh,
yeah, good.
and capitalism in America with the Black Friday thing.
The good stuff,
So,
yeah.
but I do think we need to start with, as we agreed upon, the earlier things, the latest news that happened. And I
Yep,
guess that starts with the Thanksgiving games.
it
How
does.
many of the Thanksgiving games did you manage to watch, if any? Did,
I watched the entirety of the Bears Lions, and I couldn't take any more of the Cowboys or Giants after halftime, and then I completely missed the Packers shellacking of the Dolphins.
okay, so we're at the good ground here because I watched all but the last minute of the Bears game because I wasn't home and I didn't have the data to watch the game as it was happening, and I didn't even manage to watch the game in 40 that I usually watch when I miss games. But I watched the last part of it, and that was a fun one. And while I had internet, I was checking up on the scores, and it was going into like the halftime basically, and I was like, the Bears Caleb
It was
Williams had
16
three
nothing.
yards. Yeah, they had like but Caleb had like 3 or 6 yards passing, and DeAndre Swift
Yep,
had like 3 yards running, and I was.
yep.
How do you even get like 10 yards of offense in an half? And then I was checking, and that's because they had exactly 3 drives in the first half, or at least when I was checking. I believe they were in another drive while I was checking, but they had like 3 drives, 3 4 and outs, and that was it. And then they were driving late in the second quarter. And then the game actually got close. When I checked the final score, the Bears only lost by 3. That means I covered my bet.
You didn't
So
watch the comeback then.
I didn't watch the comeback. I need to watch back on
Well,
that game. But then I watched the end, and I guess the end was enough to
you
figure out
did watch
that,
the
like, bad coaching, man. Bad coaching is real. Bad coaching is a thing. And that guy, oh, Mahomes dropped the football. That's a fumble. but he recovered it. Okay, but bad coaching, it's killing the league, right? Like, how were you not screaming at your TV? Call a timeout to Eberflus.
No, I was not. I was too busy laughing.
Okay, that's also a good answer. It's like, I think everyone and their mother knew that you need to call a fucking timeout there. That's like 40 seconds left. You have a timeout. You just picked up a play. It's a rookie QB. Like, shit happens in terms of like you're calling a play, maybe he's
Why
not
didn't
getting the play.
Granted, I guess the answer could be it's just a rookie QB, but why didn't the quarterback call the timeout either? I understand. I'm not putting the onus on Caleb, but and I understand it's completely on Eberflus. But at the same time, I just can't help but think if that was Mahomes or if that was Joe Burrow in that situation, they would have called the goddamn timeout. So why
Yeah,
didn't Caleb call the timeout?
I think he should have. It's probably, as you said, it's just a rookie QB. I think that's the answer. It's just like he's trusting the play caller. He's trusting the coach. He's getting the plays from the sideline, and you really don't want to like burn the bridge. Or I guess if you want to go with the conspiracy theory, is that he wanted Eberflus fired.
I mean, that did lead to Eberflus's firing. So
So
and
he
his
was like,
performance, honestly, and his performance over the last, I'd say, 5, 6 weeks also has contributed to it for the most part.
Caleb has been playing well, I think.
You just said the man had 13 yards and a half.
Three
Caleb's been
yards,
playing
three
well.
yards and
Three,
a
oh,
half.
3 yards. Three
But
yards and a half.
what
So
actually was the end line for him?
he had 3 touchdowns in the second half, and I believe
Touchdowns,
250
256
yards.
yards passing.
Yeah.
And like for the past games, I mean, you really can't put this on Caleb, man. Like they go versus Minnesota, they lose a game in overtime in which the kicker missed the field goal or it was blocked. They lose a game versus Green Bay by 1 point in which they were kicking the game-winning field goal that got blocked. They lost a game versus what Washington on a crazy Hail Mary. It's just like I don't know how you can even put this on Caleb, man. Especially the last 3 games. I think he has been playing fairly well ever since the OC change. I think he has been playing very well. So I really can't put this on Caleb at this point. Like the Eberflus firing, it was coming. I think it was coming either at the end of the season or like closer to the end of it. Like in season, but closer to the end, or just after the season concluded. But Caleb just expedited the process. It was like, okay, you want to give me the play? I'll wait for the play. I'll wait for the play. There's like, we just wasted 20 seconds. I'll wait for the play. Okay, play's coming. Play's coming. Okay. So now you're calling a play that requires me to throw the ball to a player to get out of bounds, and we have less than 15 seconds to execute this. So yeah, I'm gonna call an audible. Otherwise, we're fucked. He calls an audible. He throws a crazy pass, leads to nothing, and gets Eberflus fired. I guess it's a win-win for him. Like he has been playing well the past 2 or 3 weeks. Maybe that means that a coach could be interested in coming in and coaching him, which I think always would happen. He had the hype off of college um, to incentivize the coach picking him up. Like there's been worse QBs that got interest from coaches. So I feel like he's on a good path to get a good head coach next year. I'll
He's
also
on,
say that. What?
oh,
Sorry.
he's on a path to get a good head coach.
Hey, it is what it is. It is true. Like he has never had a good head coach at the pros for like the 11 games, 13 games that he has played. 12, I guess, because of the bye. I would say that I don't think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I've seen a coach get a bigger rise in the ranks than Thomas Brown has for the Bears. Because after week 10, he got promoted from passing game coordinator to OC after they fired Shane Waldron. And now, on week 13, he goes from OC to head coach. So now he's the interim head coach. 3 weeks ago, he was the passing game coordinator. So that's a great job. That's a great like promotion after promotion after promotion. Like, dude has been a great employee, apparently.
Dude just gets there.
He's just
Oh
like
man.
he's just riding through the ranks. It reminds me of there was like this tech company. I don't know if it was like Microsoft or if it was another company of the sorts earlier this year, like a couple of months ago, that had like a guy promoted to being either CEO or like some higher rank in the company. And the guy that became that higher ranked started as an intern and has been with the company for 20 years and has always just been ranking up, rising up the ranks every single year, basically. And now he has become like CEO of the company. So it reminds me a bit like that, but at an even faster track. He just got in there as the passing game coordinator. Now he's head coach. Okay. So Eberflus is fired. Who do you think is the next head coach for the Bears?
Offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy. Bieniemy?
Like the dude isn't even coaching anymore. What?
Yep.
I
That's just so
think
Bears.
that would be really Bears. I think it's going to be either Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll.
Yeah, that I do think it fits the whole Chicago Bears thing here. Good defense, young QB, trying to win off the defense, set up the run game, and just have a young team for him to motivate. I think it could work with Pete there. Or in February, Ben Johnson becomes the most hated guy in Detroit.
With this guy.
I don't know. It feels like a good landing spot for a head coach. If I was a head coach, I would want to go there.
You'd want to go there?
And why not? Like, it's better than shitty ass Jacksonville.
Yeah. What did Jacksonville do to you?
They're just shitty. That's all they've ever done. They're just shitty. Like, do you want to go to Chicago or do you want to go to the New York Jets?
Ooh. Hmm.
With crazy ass Woody Johnson.
Crazy ass Woody Johnson.
And his 17-year-old son was apparently also, like, sort of working as a GM.
Is Woody Johnson crazy though? Or does he just want the Jets to win?
I think he's crazy.
I think he's crazy.
If you want your team to win, you do not hire Nathaniel Hackett.
I mean, okay, you hired Nathaniel Hackett, yes, but you hired him because you brought in Aaron Rodgers. And as you know, when you acquire Aaron Rodgers, you go all in on Aaron Rodgers. So I'm not
But
sure you can really blame Woody Johnson. Woody Johnson had to commit to the bit, and the bit failed.
I can't blame him for firing the head coach that was coaching the only part of the team that was actually good. I think I can blame him for that. That since firing him, the only part of the team that was actually good is now shit as well.
I mean, yeah, but Robert, at the end of the day, Robert Salo went against the bit of acquiring Aaron Rodgers.
But
Yep.
isn't Woody Johnson also going against that bit, apparently? Because now he is saying that he has
Yeah, the bit
wanted
failed.
Aaron Rodgers to be benched since the Denver Broncos game.
Yeah, the bit failed. They're 4-7. They're a trash team.
So he's a trash owner. I mean, they've been trash for the entirety of the time that I've watched the NFL.
No, they haven't. That's a bit of an exaggeration.
Okay. So I started watching the NFL back in 2015, I want to say, or 2016. Let me just double check the amount of times that they had a winning. I'm not even gonna say the playoffs. I'm gonna say a winning record. Let's look back on it. Let's look back on it. Okay, so the New York Football Jets that do not play football. I forgot. Where are
They
their
do not.
records? Wasn't that what you? Oh no, I think you said that about the Giants. My bad. List of New York Jets seasons.
You don't
Okay,
even
so
know. You don't even know there's between the Giants and the man.
okay, so since 2015, so 2015 they actually were 10-6, and I believe that's the first year that I watched the NFL. 2015 they were 10-6. After that, 5-11, 5-11, 4-12, 7-9, 2-14, 4-13, 7-10, 7-10. They were good one season for the entirety of the time that I watched the NFL.
I mean, yeah, they've been pretty bad.
Mm,
I'm not disagreeing that they've been bad. I'm just saying. If you were Woody Johnson, would you not be tired of the Jets being bad?
yeah, so I would just I don't know, keep the head coach, draft a rookie, say fuck off to Aaron Rodgers, fire Nathaniel Hackett. It's probably it.
I think. I mean,
Oh,
at least they're trying.
The Raiders just missed a 53-yard field goal. So now the Chiefs are up 10. It's coming, Angelo. It's coming.
What, you being wrong on another
Now I'm gonna correct.
Amazon broadcasted game? By the way, congratulations on going 2-1 on Thursday.
Thank you. I was hoping for you to bring it up. Thank you so much. 2-1 on a Thursday, guys. If you've been tracking along, you know how hard that is for me to even get a win on Thursday, let alone two. I now got 2 wins on Thursday.
Anything's possible, man. Anything's possible.
I actually thought that I didn't get the Giants game correct because I thought we were both on the Cowboys and then I flipped. But no, we were both on the Giants and then I flipped.
Yep. Yep, you
So
got
yeah,
off the sinking ship.
I got off the sinking ship for sure. Yeah, that was a good one for me. Thank God. A good Thursday. And speaking of, since we're talking about the Giants, the Cowboys are now 2-0 in the last two starts of Cooper Rush.
They
They're
are?
5-7. Do you think they make the playoffs?
No.
No?
Season's over, fam.
Season's over?
Yeah.
What if they do make the playoffs? What if?
Then, oh Lord.
What do you
Then
do
we
with
get
Dak
to
Prescott?
then we get to be more annoyed at the. Oh man. We get to be more annoyed at the Cowboys because now we're going to be talking about this forever. Forever.
Yeah, you
Oh no,
remember
is
back.
Cooper Rush better? We talked about this last time he played. Is Cooper Rush better than Dak Prescott? Should be maybe starting Cooper Rush over Dak Prescott? No, I don't know. Cooper Rush looked pretty good in those 4 games he played. I'm tired of hearing about it. They're not going to do it.
I know, I know we talked about it last year. I know we even talked about it this year when Dak got hurt. That like we knew that this was going to happen. Cooper Rush was going to have some good games. People were going to start hyping him up, and then shit would hit the fan. But so far, shit hasn't hit the fan. At least the last 2 weeks, because like the first two were kind of rough.
Friend, he had less than 50 passing yards in his first game.
At 15, if I'm not mistaken.
I just
But
don't.
yeah, what does Austin think of this? Have you talked with Austin about this?
No, I have not talked with Austin about this.
Because Austin, although a Cowboys fan, he isn't one of those like completely delusional Cowboys fans. So I'm hoping that he at least has a good sense of like Cooper
Completely.
Rush isn't all this. But this is putting the dents on the whole prime time plus Shadur Sanders going to Dallas though. So we're going to be left at a limbo here. We won't be able to speak of Shadur Sanders in prime going to Dallas. We won't be able because eventually the other shoe is going to drop with Cooper Rush. So there's not even going to be a QB controversy with Dallas. So we're
To
just
say this, but
going to be left there.
I don't think that even if Mike McCarthy gets fired and there's an opening that Deion Sanders would agree to head coach the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think so. There's enough
Why?
smoke in there that I think he would. Like there was Mike Irvin saying that he has heard from very reliable source. Now he could be making this shit up,
Yeah.
but weren't they teammates back in Dallas? Aren't they
Yes.
still in very good terms?
Are they? I don't know.
So
I know they were
I
teammates.
think the very reliable source that he is mentioning is very likely Deion Sanders. So he's playing a bit of a mouthpiece for Deion there, which I just think it's like Deion has told him to say those things. And Dion probably has been fairly open
Say what things?
with.
Michael Irvin would add very good sources, and you stop there. That what?
Oh, sorry. That Prime would be interested to coming to Dallas with his son.
Oh, you're saying they draft Shador, and
Yes, and
Deion
get
would
Prime.
agree. Hmm. Wouldn't that require a trade up?
That would require a trade up. That would probably require you to trade Dak Prescott some way, somehow, after making him the highest paid player in football. That would be interesting. Again, I don't even think it's feasible to trade Dak Prescott at this point.
So Alex, you're the sorry. So Alex, you're the owner of the Cowboys. Would you do that? Would you dedicate future first round picks to trade up and go into cap hell for a season or two to get Dion in the building? And by the way, that would come with a mini rebuild while you're in cap hell. So you would
Fuck
have to. Huh?
no. Fuck no, buddy.
No, fuck no.
Dude, I do not think for a second that prime time would ever work as an NFL head coach. I think that shit would
Why not?
go. It's just one of those coaches that gets. It's a bit like Pete Carroll back in college when he was with Jesus Christ, what's the name of the college that Pete Carroll was
We're
in?
talking about the 19 fucking 80s at this point.
Nah, Jesus Christ, no, the one in which he got basically kicked off of there because of the whole money issue that got like Reggie Bush, if not mistaken, stripped of his Heisman's.
USC.
USC. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, go on.
It's a bit like that, in which like he does a lot of good stuff in college, and he would probably do a whole lot of good stuff with the young players. But like when the players get older and they start caring a bit more about the me in the business, the being a bit more selfish about all of this and not be like sold into the woo-wahs and the hoorahs and get like starstruck by who Dion is. I think he would lose the locker room quicker than Urban Meyer. I think it's a bit like Urban Meyer as well. Like in
You think?
college,
Oh my God, that's low key disrespectful. You think that Deion Sanders would flame out worse than Urban Meyer did?
it would go a bit like Urban Meyer. Yeah,
I don't believe that at
I
all.
don't think. I think he's a good coach for college, where he can get the players to buy in to the system, buy in to the mentality, buy in to the school, all of that. At the
I mean,
pros,
but what you're talking? But you're talking about a guy who played defensive back at the highest level. You don't think Dion understands A, NFL defenses, and B, like how to stop NFL offenses at the very least, and what offenses do that give defenses problems? You don't think he understands all of that already?
he can understand all of that, all he wants. It's being a coach is not just the X's and O's. It's not just understanding how you stop a defense and how you get an offense to go. It's actually dealing with a locker room full of grown ass men that most of them are in there for themselves to get their contracts, get their money. They're not in there to play hoorah and play like being a fan of Dion and having to buy on that and being to be sold on that philosophy of Dion and the persona of Dion. I think and like Dion wanting to be like the star because that's what Dion is. No matter what happens, he's always the star. He's always going to be the focus. That brings distraction to the locker room. I do not think that at this point in time, with what are are we seriously talking about a coach that has what 3 years of coaching under his belt in college, like 2 years with like Florida, or Florida State or whatever
Or
the
just
college is, because yeah, Florida State, and 1 year with, or no, I guess it's what 1 year with Florida and 2 years with Colorado. Is that it,
no,
or
I
is it
don't think
two
it was.
years with Florida?
I don't think he played for Florida Sanders. It was like a
No, I'm saying as a coach. He coached FSU for what?
no, it was Jackson State. It was an HBSU or HBCU.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Jackson State. That's it. So
Yeah.
he coached Jackson State for what? A year or two, and then he coached Colorado State for a year or two. I guess two
Yeah.
years for
Yes.
Colorado.
He,
So he has four
Jackson
years
State.
of
Yeah. Go on.
okay. So he has 4 years of college coaching under his belt.
Yep.
And are we supposed to think that that guy is going to translate to the NFL and the coaches and the players in the locker room are going to respect that guy? Are we really thinking that he isn't going to
I
be
mean,
like looked
honestly,
upon as a guy that has
yes.
gotten the
Because if you
job
think
because of the? Sorry, go.
honestly, yes. Because if you think about it, the Dallas Cowboys aren't run like any normal organization. They're run more akin to the Packers or the Bengals, where they draft their players, they keep their players in the building, and they don't really bring in outside talent. So there really wouldn't, especially if you're going to go through a whole fucking rebuild, there really wouldn't be players that would need to buy into the system because those players would be drafted by Dion, and Dion would, I'm sure that they are bought into that system, into that culture.
I
Do you not agree?
just I do not agree. I do not think. First, I do not think that Jerry Jones would even consent with that type of rebuild. Because dude is old enough to the point in which a rebuild right now means that he's never going to see the Dallas Cowboys reach a Super Bowl in his lifetime. So he's just going to
He's
die.
not going to see that anyway. Why
But
not
he is
settle for
delusional
success?
enough to the point in which if he keeps the team as is, and that's what he has always been saying. Heck, he hasn't even ruled out not firing Mike McCarthy at the end of the season. So he has said himself in the radio interviews. So he's delusional enough to think that this team, as currently constructed, is just a few pieces away from a Super Bowl. So he does
Yeah.
not think he's that far away. If you say that he has to go through a rebuild right now, dude is what,
I mean,
80?
to get Deion Sanders in and to get Shakur Sanders in there, would they not basically be committing to some kind of rebuild?
I think he would try and find a way in which it doesn't imply a rebuild.
Hmm. Interesting.
I just can't see Dion working right now as a coach. After 10 years in college, and he won't stay 10 years in college. That's the thing. I don't think he's going to stay that much time in college. Because, like, doesn't Urban Meyer know how to figure out the X's and O's? Wasn't he actually a good coach in college?
Yeah.
Okay. And how did that turn out in the pros? And how many years did he have over Dion?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Urban Meyer didn't have like understanding of playing the NFL at a high level. Dion does.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's why Jared Mayo is such a good coach. If that's the requirement,
I mean, we're comparing Jared Mayo to
we're
Deion
comparing a guy
Sanders.
that had a lot of time at the NFL level versus a guy that had a lot of time playing at the NFL level. That's what we're comparing.
But even then, I'd argue yes, because the defense for the Patriots is playing well for the most part. I mean, they have their stinkers, of course,
They
but the
allowed
defense is
damn near
playing well.
40 points to the Dolphins right now. They were down like damn near 40 nothing.
Drake May has shown flashes. So then what do you say? Was Drake May a bad selection
No, he was a
right
good
now?
selection. The coach is just
Okay.
shit. Like the offense is shit. The coaching staff is shit.
Is the coach just shit, or did he inherit a shit situation offensively? Let's not mix words here. The
The defense took
Patriots
a step
offense was
back from last year.
atrocious last year. The the offense that he inherited was terrible. Their best wide receiver right now is Demario Douglas. What are we talking about right now?
I mean, the defense took a dip. The defense was top five in terms of run stopping last year. This year they're middle of the pack. The passing defense is middle of the pack. They have an elite shutdown corner in Christian Gonzalez that they were missing
Who they
last year
drafted,
because
by
he
the way.
got hurt. Yeah, they drafted him, but they were missing him last year because he went out.
Yeah.
And he was down
Well,
for
I
most
mean,
of
I
the
guess
season.
technically Bill drafted him, but anyway, go. Sorry.
But it's like on offense, they went from who was there? They went from a weird combination of Mac Jones, Bailey Zappi, and whoever else was in the building to a proper QB right now and Drake May that they haven't burned to the ground. They got rid of Zeke, which is an immediate +1 for them. Every drive that Zeke isn't there, it just gets them points. And in terms of the wide receiver room, if he's such a great coach, why is the wide receiver room still absolutely shit? Why did they draft like two rookies, one in the second round, one in like the fourth round, and neither of them is even good enough to start in this shit like wide receiver core?
I mean, wide receivers are tricky. Like you and I have been drafting wide receivers for a long time. And do you know, like, do you know for sure what makes a good wide receiver and what doesn't? Because I don't.
The
I had Terrace Marshall
difference
on my list.
The difference is, and this might shock you, but we are not paid millions and millions of
You like
dollars.
John Ross.
You like John Ross. You fucked me on John Ross. I wanted Kareem Hunt or Alvin Kamara. Fuck off. You like fucking John Ross. You'll never put that one on me. I was like, I think this guy Kareem Hunt or this Calvin Kamara can be good and will be probably good. And he's like, this guy's really fast, and you were like, yeah, you should definitely draft that guy because he's really fucking fast. And I'm like, okay, I guess. And he also has like that crazy draft capital, so I guess that's what we need to go with. But you sold me on that one. You fucked me on that pick. Oh, Mahomes is hurt.
Oh man. The
Mahomes
sad part
hurt
is
his hand, and he's back apparently.
I was about to say the sad part is I'm not sure. I mean, obviously Mahomes getting hurt hurts the Chiefs, but I'm not sure how much it's going to hurt them in this particular game.
And they're up
Like,
6 with about a minute and 30 left in the third.
yeah, you need another touchdown.
I need another touchdown on a 2-point conversion, but there's still time. There's still time. The Bears are gonna, the Raiders are gonna fuck this up. All of this to say, if Dion goes to the pros right now, he will not succeed. He will not last a season, or maybe last a season, but that's it. He gets fired
He will
afterwards.
last this season.
He gets fired
It's the
afterwards.
Cowboys. He would last a season.
I mean, if he goes to the Cowboys, heck, maybe he lasts like 20 years. Because apparently Jerry Jones got embarrassed in the playoffs last year. The team is shit this year, and still Mike McCarthy is okay as a head coach. And this is what I'll never understand, because Mike McCarthy won a Super Bowl. Like, does this really matter all that much? Winning a Super Bowl 10 years ago, when the game was not even 10, but like what, 14 years ago or 12 years ago? That's when he won a Super Bowl. The game wasn't even the same game at that time. Oh, athletic. Oh, fuck. DeAndre Hopkins fucked Mahomes. Poor guy. But does that really matter? Crickets. Great athletic pass by Mahomes, since Angelo apparently went away or something. But great athletic pass by Mahomes, just
Mm-hmm.
like full extension, damn near throwing it Superman mode, and Hopkins just balls hits him in the hands and he drops it. He had a similar one in a Super Bowl. I don't know which one it was, but it was one in which he was damn near like flat against the ground. He managed just to throw the ball at the last second. That goes for completion. This one, it went incomplete. They had to punt
I was
it.
about to say, I'm pretty sure that's one of the San Francisco comebacks.
I think so as well. Or it was the Tampa Bay one. But I think the Tampa Bay one, he
I
didn't
was say he
really.
lost the Tampa, but yeah,
Yeah, he lost that one. Okay. Do you think being a Super Bowl winning head coach 12 years ago matters?
12 years ago.
That's when Mike McCarthy won it, right?
Yeah,
So,
I mean, it got him hired.
but should it mean that he should keep his job?
Probably not, because that was with a different organization.
Yeah, but apparently Jerry Jones thinks that's enough, because that's one of the points that he used to keep him when he was talking with the radio earlier this week, in which he said that he wasn't sure what he was going to do. He wouldn't even rule out a contract extension for Mike McCarthy because he's a Super Bowl winning head coach, and those
Yeah.
are far and few in between.
It also like refuses to acknowledge, um, what's the word? The situation, what happened. Like he had a generational quarterback. Just period. So I don't think it's a coincidence that usually the Super Bowl winning head coaches coached really good quarterbacks.
I
Andy
just
Reid is a good example. Andy Reid had what one Super Bowl, and if I'm not mistaken, it was with Donovan McNabb, and
That
now he has 5 or 6, and all but one of those is with Mahomes. Do you know what I mean?
he didn't he didn't get the Super Bowl. He went to the Super Bowl, but he
Oh, went
lost
to the Super Bowl. Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Bill Belichick has like 10 rings, all with Brady. I'm
I'll
exaggerating,
be
of
ready.
course, but it just feels that way.
But like the thing that I always find funny when people are like, "Oh, Doug Peterson will get until the end of the season because he's a Super Bowl winning head coach." Oh, Mike McCarthy should have more leeway because he's a Super Bowl winning head coach. Okay, but those guys have coached for over 20 years and they won one fucking Super Bowl. Isn't that
Here's an
not like a
interesting
fucking
thing. Hold on.
outlier?
Hold on. Here's something that needs to be discussed more, honestly, because didn't which Super Bowl did Doug Peterson win?
The Nick
2017.
Foles one. Yeah,
2017. When did Doug
he was fired like
get
on 2019 or 2020.
Okay, 2020. Okay, so it wasn't as close because I was thinking he won the Super Bowl and then he was fired from the Eagles a year or two later. It wasn't the case. He won the Super Bowl with the Eagles and then he was fired 4 years later. So I don't know. I do think winning the Super Bowl does get you leeway with the team that you won with, but I don't think winning the Super Bowl should get you leeway with a different organization, if that makes sense. It can get you in the door because people confuse correlation with causation, thinking that, okay, well, this coach proved he was able to do it once, so he can do it again under our parameters with the roster we have built, and that's not necessarily the case. You need the right mind with the right players and the right quarterback. All that is important.
Touchdown Las Vegas. Game is time. Like a 60 something yard touchdown pass in which a defender
Alex
just
is
dropped
cursed
to his
against
knees.
in Amazon games. I knew it. My theory was correct.
I have no clue what happened there. Like Trey Tucker was just like left wide open because the defender tripped on himself and he fell to the ground.
So,
But yeah, just like I understand, I agree that it should get you some sort of leeway with the team that you're on. But outside of that, when they get fired, like just saying that X is a Super Bowl winning head coach, so he should get Y more time. It's just like it's such a
yeah, it
bad
ignores the
mentality
fact.
to have.
Yeah, it ignores what you're going through right now. But at the same time, I would make a case that Mike McCarthy's tenure with Dallas would warrant him another year
Oh,
simply
fuck off!
because if I. What? What do you mean, fuck off?
Are we
They have
going to
won 11
disregard?
games every year other than this year.
Let me ask you because maybe I missed something. What's their record in the playoffs, Angelo?
Probably 0-3 or 1-2.
Great. Should that match you another year?
I mean, Marvin Lewis got like 10 years with the Bengals
I
going
for,
500. So,
I
are you really want
forgot.
to ask the guy who watched Marvin Lewis
Yeah,
get
that's why. Now it makes sense now. I forgot that you were like mentally hurt by what the Bengals did to you. So that's why you have that take. That makes full sense. It's like it's just like it's one of those relationships in which like the girl gets mentally gets psychologically abused and it's like she just thinks that that's what's normal going on in other relationships. So that's basically you. You're like because your team did that to you for so many years, you just think that like that's the okay course to follow. And that's why the Dallas Cowboys should keep another head coach that is mediocre and will never get them even close to a Super Bowl win.
Marvin
Makes full
Lewis
sense.
coached the Bengals for over a decade.
Yeah. I always thought that it was less, but when I checked how many years he coached them, It
15
was damn
years,
near.
Alex.
It
He coached
was it
he coached my favorite team for half my goddamn life.
wasn't it more than that though? I was under the impression it was damn near 20 years. He coached the Cincinnati Bengals for 15 years. He coached them from 2003 to 2018.
Yep.
Do you know where he is right now?
On the Dallas Cowboys.
No, that would be fun. No, he's actually in the game that I'm watching. He's the assistant head coach for the
Of
Raiders.
ooh.
Do you think a guy like Marvin Lewis would ever make it in the KC staff? Don't you think like those guys are actually smart? He needs to be in a team of dumb people. So that's why he's on the
Needs
Raiders.
to be on a team of dumb people.
You think like the Super Bowl winning Kansas City Chiefs would ever employ a guy like that? That coach for 15 years and had what? One playoff win in 15 years?
I'm not sure if he got one. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
Marvin Lewis playoff record.
No, he's 0-7. Holy fucking shit. He's 0-7. He never got a playoff win with the Bengals. Jesus fucking
Alex
Christ.
with the realization. That's right.
Jesus fucking Christ.
He doubted me. He didn't think I was right, but I was right.
Oh my God. It's right there. It's right there.
There you
The
go.
only thing that he ever did as an head coach was in AP Coach of the Year in 2009.
There you go. There you go, Alex. So yes, if the Dallas Cowboys have gone 1-2 or 1-3, whatever it is in the last 3 years, yes, that is better than what I've experienced.
Hey,
Thank
but you
you.
know what Marvin Lewis is? He is a Super Bowl winning coach, not a head coach. He won it as an
Defensive
assistant coach.
coordinator with the 2000 Ravens. Yes, I understand.
Assistant. He was also assistant, I believe. At least the
Okay.
name says
I
that
thought
he
he was
was.
the DC. I'm not gonna lie.
He was the DC. It says there that he is the DC, but he says that as an assistant coach, he won a Super Bowl.
Okay.
So that's the one with the Ravens, and then he also won an NCAA FCS national championship back in 1981
Well, I
at
know the
Idaho
title
State.
for today's episode. Alex didn't know Marvin Lewis never won a playoff game.
Jesus Christ, dude. So that's why you're hurt. Okay. Makes sense that you're now defending Mike McCarthy. You really defend the Cowboys because it's very similar to the Bengals. Because when you look at the Cowboys, as you said, they tend to draft the players, keep the talent in. You tend to draft the players, keep the talent in. Usually don't
Yep.
bring in free agents. Neither do you guys. The
Yep.
owner is, I guess he's the Cowboys owner is a bit less of a cheap fuck. So
1000%.
there's that difference.
Yep.
But it's still like employing shit coaches for like 20 years. It also like fits the bill. And never actually make the playoffs in the 21st and actually never winning a Super Bowl in the 21st century. But at least you guys made one. So.
But at least we made one.
Yeah.
So yeah, now you're starting to understand. Now you are starting to get it. Now you are understanding my existence for the last 2 decades or so. Thank you.
Okay. It's also wild the difference between because I'm from Europe, I'm from Portugal. I watch soccer, and there's like a major difference in terms of the leeway that a coach gets in a soccer team versus what they get with an NFL team. I think.
What do you mean by that?
Like the coaches that have won the championship, the national championship here in Portugal. Like some of those coaches, like if they start to like, let's imagine you win a national championship here. So you win the league title here,
I'm
which
the
is
best. Yep.
basically Yeah, it's going to basically be the Super Bowl. We'll call it the Super Bowl for the people that don't watch soccer. I guess the
Okay.
Super Bowl would be
Okay.
more like the Champions League, but domestically, in terms of like the competitions inside of the country, let's say that the national title is like the Super Bowl. So, coach that wins the national title 1 year, if he starts the next year rough, and if the losses come, if the team isn't playing to their level, he gets immediately booed by the team. Like he gets what? Like we play 32 games or 34 games. Um,
Immediately boo?
like if the team looks like shit and they play like shit and they start dropping points, like I don't know, 8 games in, so that's like what, a fourth of a season in. So that's basically like what, by week 4 on your standards, he gets booed immediately, and by like half the season, if
Booed by
like
week 4. This sounds like Steeler fan activity.
yeah, but it's just like it's very common. I'll tell you that much. And then if the losses really keep piling up and like the competition isn't playing at a good standard and whatnot, he gets fired, man. So let's say
That's
for the
it. He just
sake
got
of it,
fired.
just get fired. Let's say for the sake of it, let's look at Sean McVay, for example. Won a Super Bowl with the Rams a couple of years ago versus your Bengals. Let's say that Sean McVay, the
I
year
don't.
after, by like half season, was, I don't know, 1-7. He would get fired. In soccer, you get fired for that. So imagine my surprise when a guy that won a Super Bowl 12 years ago gets leeway to have like what, 3 shit seasons in a row, and people are like, yeah, but he won a Super Bowl 12 years ago. The coaches that won titles 12 years ago, they aren't even coaching in Portugal anymore. They're like Saudi leagues or some shit like that. They didn't even act it in
I,
Portugal that much longer.
I don't think I've ever heard that phrase muttered. Hack it in Portugal. Oh man.
Yeah, it is true. Like, for example,
Oh
there's
god.
one thing. There's one thing here, that it's like, in the Brazilian league. The Brazilians tend to say that the Brazilian league is way more competitive and way better than Portugal's and whatnot. They used to say this for quite a bit. We had 3 reject coaches that couldn't even make it in Portugal. So like 3 Marvin Lewis, basically. But I guess they won titles. One of them won titles, the other didn't. So 2 Marvin Lewis and 1 Mike McCarthy. They went out to Brazil. All 3 of them won titles immediately, and more than one of them. So it's like the coaches here that won titles 12 years ago are just absolutely dog shit right now. And meanwhile, in the US, in the so much evolved US, you have
Yeah.
retread
Best country
coaches
in the
that won
world. Best
best
country in the
country in the
universe.
world, retread coaches that won titles 12 years ago, and that's it. They're still getting shots and they're still sucking as much as they did like 5 years ago. That's when he got fired for the Green Bay Packers. Heck of a catch by DeAndre Hopkins, but out of bounds. So just so you know, the comparison of head coaches.
Coaching
Portugal
an American
versus the
team.
US, and soccer versus, it's not even just Portugal, but it's soccer as well. Soccer versus
Is there a
NFL.
Portugal's team?
Portugal's national. Have you never watched like the World fucking Cup?
No.
Oh Jesus
I'm
fucking
American.
Christ! Yeah, yeah.
The World
America
Cup
plays in
doesn't
there.
count.
Do you know that like the World Cup is going to be in your country in like what, a year or two?
And no one will care.
Everyone will care, dude.
I mean,
It's the
yeah,
World
because
fucking Cup.
people will fly here to, go see the games, but those peoples in those stands will not be Americans. I can tell you that right now, friend.
A good friend of the show, Forensic. He cares about soccer. I think
Yeah, he's one of
there
the
will
few.
be. I think there will be a major surge in popularity
Forensic
of
is so
soccer.
American, he has to get a European audience to have an audience talking about soccer.
Jesus Christ.
What?
Hey,
What? Fact or fiction? Fact or fiction?
there's a lot of US people in there. I'll tell you that much.
I'm sure I would like to know when they got their green cards.
Oh, Jesus fucking
Hmm.
Christ.
What?
Oh my God.
What? What?
Oh my God.
Go ahead. What?
Maybe that's true again. I don't know. I do think they're Americans, like born in America. America. But yes,
They don't
Portugal
sound
as
like
a
that.
national
They
team.
probably sound like America.
Jesus.
Go on.
We're not there. You asked if there's like a Portugal team. Yeah, there is a Portugal national
I
team.
like
Yeah.
soccer. Oh, look at that. The U.S. team is so bad. Oh, but I'm going to watch Portugal. No, they're not. No. That is not what
You
I
got
think of when I think of America.
it is quite shitty. I'll tell you that much. Your team is quite shitty.
Yeah, we don't give a fuck. I'm telling you right now, the second America gives a fuck about soccer, the World Cup is over. We will assemble the Avengers so fast it'll make your head spin.
I don't know if that's going to work because you do not have the facilities for that.
You're right, but we have the money.
You have the money. You would be surprised by the crazy amount of money that even the smallest country spends on soccer in Europe.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're not spending it on military, so what the fuck else are they going to spend it on?
Hey, that's why we have you guys. You guys are here for the military.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you spend
I mean,
everything
how much money do
on the
we spend $1
military.
trillion every year in the military? So I imagine
See?
since you don't have to do that in Europe, then they can easily spend upwards of 100 billion on a
I
soccer
don't
team if
know.
they want to.
Maybe
Right? Fact or fiction?
because fact.
Fact or fiction?
Fact, but that's why are you spending $1 trillion on the fucking military, dude?
Do you know why we spend $1 trillion on the military, Alex? Do you want to
Why?
know why America spends $1 trillion on the military?
Because you're run by nuts?
No. Well, yes, but no.
Yes.
Because, okay, let's take nuclear bombs out of the equation, all right? Because everyone knows if nukes are in the equation, the whole world's fucked. The world's doomed. Okay? If the entire world got together, said we're not using weapons that could destroy the planet, the entire world could not beat us in a war. The entire world, everyone, every country, versus just us. We take that. That's why our military budget is $1 trillion.
So you guys are spending $1 trillion a year on military just
So
on the
that no
off
one can
chance.
touch us. Yes. Go
Got
ahead.
it.
Fuck around and find out what America's about.
Okay, got it. Great. Question. Can we use some of that money so that people don't have to spend like 30K if they need to like fix a finger?
No.
Or is that too much to ask?
Too
Okay.
much to ask.
Got it. Too
Too
much
much
to
to
ask.
ask.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, because we do have to spend $1 trillion on the military just on the
Exactly.
off chance that everyone in the fucking world decides, hey, yeah, we're going against America. Just on the off chance that
That's more possible than you think, friend.
you guys really like you're marked by Marvin Lewis. You guys are really marked by the time that the English, the British used to own you guys. Is that just
Yeah, we kick those
how
fuckers out.
what this boils down to? Yeah, but it's like
Well, yeah,
so
we
that
talk
never
about
repeats
them like
again.
you
We're
talk about
spending $1
Spain.
trillion on the military, fuckers.
Yeah, go ahead. Try and take us from your pond again. Not gonna do
Yeah,
it.
go ahead now. This time it won't just be your tea, you fuckers.
Exactly.
This time it's going to be your souls. You're never taking us back. Fuck you, America. Go!
You know what's actually scary about that though?
This show has gone off the
Oh, this
rails,
show is
Angelo.
completely off the rails and I love it. You know what's scary about
Jesus
that though?
fucking Christ. What?
Let's say like America got taken over by someone akin to like Stalin or Hitler. What would the
Yes.
rest of the world do if America decided just one day to start invading other countries and try to globally dominate the world?
I'm not gonna say what I was thinking, purely so we don't get into the politics of it. Um,
No, no, no. I don't want to be on. We probably already are on a watch list, but I don't want to be on another watch list.
so I'm not trying to say what I was thinking, but yeah, that would be an interesting scenario, right? Like, it's the one thing. It's like you're giving all of this power to an unknown entity. Let's imagine like you get someone that rises into power and has the same beliefs as like a Hitler or not. Now, I think the thing with the U.S. would just be like invading other countries would be relatively hard due to having to go through the sea, while Hitler and whatnot they could just like travel through the ground, which is a bit easier. Plus, like
Yeah, but there's a lot of. I don't know about you, but there's a lot of landmass in North and South America, friend.
there is a lot, but like while you are docking on other countries, like you're probably the best place that you can land is Portugal, so that will be defended like by everyone, like the whole EU would just send the whole entirety of the navy, and I
They'd
don't know,
lose. They'd lose
maybe
$1 trillion.
sure $1 trillion, I guess. It,
You,
it just depends. Like, for
Alex,
example, it
Alex,
just would depend on
Alex,
how good
Alex,
of a military man the guy
Alex.
in charge was. Yes.
We have a program that built a plane to fire other planes at people. Think about that for a second.
Okay, so we're all getting doomed. Is that what you're
Yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah. No, you guys are fucked. You guys are low key fucked.
Thank God. Like, do I pass as an American though? I guess so.
No, you
Right?
no, you will not. You would not pass as American right now. No.
Are you sure about that? If we just delete this and I can have just I'll just speak with a weird accent from like Texas or somewhere
I
else.
don't think you could speak. I can't even speak with the country folk accent. I seriously doubt you could pull off a country folk accent.
Maybe New York. Is that like an easier accent to pull?
Yeah, that'd be easier. New York is closer to Italian, so and
Yeah.
you're pretty
So
close to
I just watch The Sopranos over and over and over again, and maybe
pretty
like
much.
by the
Yeah,
time that happens, I
yeah,
can just
exactly, exactly.
okay, got it. So I already got like the fast food and whatnot. So you guys don't even actually have food of your own.
Did
So
I
at
mention
that
that the
point,
other planes will be shooting at you are also capable of flying and fighting?
great.
Yeah.
So that's great. That's just great to hear. But at the end of the day, like if the guy in charge of the military thingy is not a good tactician, then that really doesn't matter. Like Napoleon, for example, I remember
It would be
Napoleon
low
and
key embarrassing if we spent $1 trillion a year on the military and we lost
just
that
listen,
fight.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That would be really embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie.
But sometimes it's not even the amount or how big the infantry army is. Sometimes it's just like how smart you are. Like I remember reading and even watching the Napoleon movie a couple months ago, which was kind of a shitty movie versus what Napoleon actually is. But
I
if I
heard it was. I
remember
haven't watched
correctly,
it. Yeah.
it was kind of shitty. They portrayed him as like this weird guy. He was kind of weird, but it took it to another level, and it painted him more as a very dumb dumb at some points, which he really wasn't. So it's like he had to lead very small armies, and they got great wins
Yeah,
versus
they did.
versus his opponents at the time. So it's just like
You can't even name his opponents. You can't name France. You can't name Britain. You can't name
you really fucking said
Prussia.
friends, Angelo.
Huh?
You really fucking said friends.
I'm American. Yes, I
Jesus
said
fucking
France.
Christ. Oh my
Everyone in
God.
Europe is an enemy to an
God, you
American,
said
Alex.
that an enemy of Napoleon was fucking France. He is
I mean,
French.
technically.
Jesus
I mean,
fucking Christ.
technically. I mean, technically, closer to the end, they did just kind of let the Allies in.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah, I said enemies because I wasn't going to sit here and name like every single other country because he was at war with everyone. He was at war with us. He
Russia,
was at war with Spain. He was at war with Russia. He was at war with Germany, with England. So
Austrian,
he just wanted everyone. He wanted a piece of everyone.
right? But
So
he didn't have tanks just taking up space in Nevada that he could just send.
okay, Angela, you win. If there was ever
Exactly.
an hypothetical scenario in which every single country in the world would unite and going to fight you guys would win.
Damn straight. We'd kick your ass.
Great, great. Now go on, and if you break a finger, you have to pay 30K.
Yep.
But at least
Medical
you
debt, number
wouldn't.
one cause of bankruptcy in America right now. Fun
Let's
fact.
go, let's go. That's just great to hear.
Fun fact.
$1 trillion in military, and you can't
So
even
anyway,
break
we're
your
gonna talk
pinky.
about other games at some point.
Uh, we're like an hour and change into this, and we talked like about what, a game and a half? We're like 2 games from Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So
So
I'm gonna give you a chance. You can go off the Bengals right now. You can pick the other. I don't even know who we're facing. You can pick the other side, Alex. You don't have to watch the Bengals give up 34 points while scoring 30 points again. You don't
I'm
have to
staying
do
with
it
the
to
Bengals.
yourself. Huh?
I'm staying with the
Oh
Bengals.
my God, Alex. You haven't seen it enough times.
Nope. I need
Oh,
one more time.
you need one more time?
I need one more time.
I need more goddamn alcohol.
Tomorrow, not today. No, actually, not tomorrow. 2 days from now. Not today.
Oh, man.
I'm starting to think that I'm not going to win this game. Because like the Chiefs are up two.
No,
It's like
I will
5 minutes
say
left.
I will say at halftime I was so fucking confident you were losing that Lions game. I was so confident. Like there was no indication. Literally the only indication the Bears were coming back was the fucking fumble right before half that prevented the Lions from scoring yet another touchdown to make it like 22-0 at halftime. There was absolutely no indication that Caleb and the Bears offense were going to be able to move the ball against the Lions defense. But it just happened. It just happened. Don't know how it happened, but it happened. I
It's
watched it and I
football,
don't know how it
Angelo.
happened.
It's
What?
football. It just happens. It's the
3 yards.
National Fake You Out League.
3 fucking yards.
Yeah.
Don't know how it happened. It honestly was like watching a Bengals game. You turn it on, the Bengals are down by 3 touchdowns. You go back and it's a tied ball game, and then they lose in overtime. And que sera,
Am I
sera.
am I crazy, or like the Lions scored 3 points in the second half?
Uh, you're crazy because I'm pretty sure.
They
No,
scored 6.
it was they scored six. Yeah, it was more. It was more.
Great. They scored 6 fucking points in the second half. Oh. Well, the one game that I was actually kind of sure that it wasn't going to go as everyone thought. It actually went as everyone thought. It was the Green Bay Packers game and the Dolphins. I thought everyone and their mama would be on the Packers -3.5 or -3, and that it surely wouldn't be as simple as that. Just like pick the team on the cold versus the Dolphins on a primetime game, winning team. It just can't really be 3 points like that. The Vegas isn't just going to end off money
Yeah,
to
Vegas was
everyone.
smoking something.
Apparently they did. It was just like the Black Friday, but a bit earlier. So everyone and their mama cashed on Green Bay, and that was your only win last night.
So it begs the question: what the fuck possessed you to pick the Dolphins?
I just thought it wouldn't be as simple as it's the Dolphins, it's the cold, it's the team with a winning record. They're going to lose by double digits. I just thought it was a national fake you out league game.
A national fake you out league game.
But apparently not.
That's the only game I got right. That's the only game I got right. Huh.
Only game. I think you're about
I
to get
think
another one though.
so. We're gonna go 2-2 going into the Sunday games. Believe it or not, I don't. Well, I have a better record than Alex, but I don't have the best records in the Sunday games. My bread and butter has been like Thursday and Monday night games. So this
Oh,
is
so you're
concerning.
fucked. You're fucked.
Yeah,
Especially
yeah.
on Mondays. I haven't checked your Monday night football game record. Your Monday night football, yeah, record. But I kind of think it's not that good because I always remember like if I'm down a game or if I'm down like two games and we're on opposite
I'm
sides on
actually gonna
Monday.
go back 0-1. Keep talking. I'm going back.
I think you're going to be surprised by how bad you actually do on Monday, or maybe I will. I guess it just depends. But yeah, that game went as like everyone predicted. Apparently, everyone made bank off of it, and it begs the question: is it Tua? Is it the Dolphins? What is the thing? Because they can't win at the cold. They can't win versus teams with a winning record. Is this a team that can only play on September and October? They also can even make games competitive when they're down at the half because is it the coach? Is it the team? Is it Tua? Is it everything?
Oh my god.
You have a shit record, I'm sure.
Oh my god. It's such a
Oh
mixed bag.
boy.
All right, the final tally is in. Him 7 and
Oh.
8 in Monday night games.
Okay, so it's not that shitty. I thought it was much worse.
Yeah, it's not on par with your Thursday night record, Alex. Don't worry, buddy.
Oh,
There's nothing that can be on par with that.
I actually thought it was going to be close enough, but apparently not.
Close to your third. Oh, you thought there was something possible to approach your Thursday night record when you didn't predict a Thursday night game in like 9 weeks correctly?
That's about what I said. What I was thinking. Yeah.
Oh my god, Alex,
I,
Alex, killing me, man. Oh god damn it! I just looked at the Monday night game for next week.
what is it?
Oh, it has the potential for all the heartbreak in the world. Oh man. I
I'm
don't
still
think my
waiting
heart could.
now.
I don't think my heart could take giving up 30 points to this team.
Oh, buddy.
Oh man, you saw who it was?
No, I'm looking back at my record now.
Okay, it's the Cowboys.
Oh, buddy.
I don't think my heart could take that one, man. I can take
I'm
losing to the Steelers. I can't take.
I'm 9-6 on Monday night games. Yeah, if you lose to that, at least it's fitting that it is like the Cowboys versus the Cowboys from the AFC.
Cowboys versus the NFC Cowboy or the AFC Cowboy.
No, let's a bit better. The AFC Cowboys versus the NFC Bengals.
There you go. I'm so
There you
happy
go.
with.
That's Monday night's football on week 14.
Yeah, I'm so happy about that.
Okay, we still need to talk about what? We have a
Okay.
lot of shit to talk about.
I
Jesus
think the
fucking.
power rankings are going to have to be skipped this week, friend.
We're really going to skip the power rank. We actually skipped them twice. We're skipping them 2 weeks because we didn't make the power rankings or anything last week. And this week we're skipping it. So yeah, power rankings on week 14 apparently. Because we're like an hour and 15 or an hour 20 in
I mean,
and
if
we've
you
talked
really want
about
to do what do you want to do? What would you rather do? Would you rather do power rankings or would you rather talk about stupid shit like America and how the Bengals depress you and well, not
oh
you. The
missed
Bengals
field
don't
goal by the
depress you.
Raiders.
You already got to talk about how Makes some. You already got to talk about how bad coaching is in Chicago.
Hey, I'm hoping it takes it down an upturn right now. So, or at least hoping for that. Oh, the Raiders kicker just shanked the punt, just shanked the kick. So now I lost because there's no way the Chiefs playing like this are ever going to even try and get points. So they're just getting a first down and it's over.
It's
um,
over.
but yeah, the coaching I've talked about it. I guess the games that we need to talk about.
Go ahead. Let's go. We're gonna skip the power rankings. So let's talk about some games.
I do
What do
want to
you?
talk about the power rankings though, but
Okay.
but Washington is Washington sort of a fluke thing. Has Washington come down to earth? Because that's back-to-back losses. They lost versus the Cowboys, the shitty-ass Cowboys. They lost versus the Eagles. So in division, it's not all that great. The loss versus the Eagles really sort of exposed them. They couldn't really do anything with the ball. What do we think of the Washington Commanders? It's just like a tough run of games. Are they not as good
It
as
was
anticipated?
not as good as anticipated. I don't know if I can say because let's set the record straight. They weren't anticipated to do shit. So I think
Okay, okay. Let me rephrase that. Are they not as good as people anticipated 7 weeks in?
yes, yes, I do think that.
Is there a chance that Jaden Daniels loses Offensive Rookie of the Year
To whom?
to Bo Nix?
No way in hell.
No way in hell.
No way in hell.
That's the second time that I've heard that, and I'm just like, are you really saying that if the Washington Commanders miss the playoffs
Yes.
and the Denver Cowboys,
Denver
Jesus,
Cowboys. Yeah, that sounds
and
about right.
and the Denver Broncos make the playoffs, Jaden Daniels would win the offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah. That's that sounds about right.
For context, because I think context is needed at times.
Hmm.
I just want to read you the Bo Nix stat line on the season. Bo Nix, he has thrown 399 times, 259 completions, 2,548 yards passing, 16 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. In fact, the 6 interceptions, if you take out the 2 games of the year, he has thrown only 2 interceptions since the first 2 games of the year. So he has 2 interceptions from week 3 up until week 12. That's 2 interceptions in a 10-game span. He's making the playoffs with the Broncos as it currently stands. And if you look at Jalen Daniels, if I'm not mistaken, I'm opening it up. Jesus Christ, I have had a cold for like a bunch of time. He has only 12 touchdown passing. He has 5 interceptions, so only one less than Bo Nix, but 4 less touchdowns passing. In terms of running, sure, he has 556 yards running, but ever since hurting his ribs, the running has gone down tremendously. And he only has 2,613 yards passing, so it's not even that big of a difference to Bo Nix. Like, the stats are not all that different right now between the two. If one guy makes the playoffs and the other doesn't, the guy making the playoffs is getting the offensive rookie of the year.
Mm. I don't know. I still don't think so. Call me crazy. Call me a hater. I don't think so.
I think Bo Nix is well positioned to get Offensive Rookie of the Year right now. Purely because you look at Jaden Daniels' schedule, he still has his bye. I believe Bo Nix also has. It's both on week 14. But right now he's facing Tennessee, which they have a tough defense at least. He's facing the New Orleans Saints, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Atlanta Falcons, and the Dallas Cowboys. That's going to be a tough schedule. I'm not sure if they make the playoffs right now. I'll tell you that much.
But here's the thing. The Broncos are being carried by an elite defense. The Commanders are being carried by Jaden Daniels, or they're struggling on Jaden Daniels. That's matters more to me. This is America, goddammit. We care about vibes and visuals, not statistics. You can throw those scary numbers that you just listed about Bo Nix. You can throw them in the trash. They don't matter. Vibes matter.
I think if we had this discussion a month ago, you're probably right. Right now, don't look right now, but Bo Nix is I'm not sure if he's carrying that team, but he is definitely not playing like your run-of-the-mill average QB. He's pulling some weight right now on the offense.
He's pulling some weight.
Yeah, I kind of think like a lot of what is happening in Denver is on Bo Nix right now.
If you are capable of changing that narrative for America, then I'll give it to you. I will give it to you. But I
Hey, Bo
don't
Nix has
think it's possible.
Bo Nix has what then? He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games to change the narrative for America.
For America.
And he has 2 primetime games of the next 3 that he plays. The other game that he plays, it's versus the Colts, and it's on the late slate on Sunday. So the afternoon slate. So he has he has a couple primetime games plus 1 game in which it's not primetime, but it's a good slot to show yourself. So you can show to everyone in America that he should win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
I'm straight. Do it. Do it, kid.
Okay. I'm looking more at games from week 11, purely because we talked a bit about week 12 when we were discussing the games for this week when we were making the picks. The Lions just blowing over the Jaguars 52-6 is just like, I don't know how Doug Peterson still has a job, but here we are. Super Bowl. I guess that's it. That's Super Bowl. That's probably. Is that the. I mean, there's certainly never going to be a coach that can say that he won a Super Bowl for Jacksonville. But is that like the closure that the Jacksonville Jaguars are ever getting to a Super Bowl? It's just like having a Super Bowl winning head coach from like 10 years ago.
You're pretty harsh in Jacksonville, man.
Like, what the fuck should I be good on Jacksonville for?
I mean, at least they tried. They spent money.
They tried and they spent money.
What? They did.
So here's a consolation trophy. Apparently, that's what America is about. Consolation trophies. They tried. They spent money.
I mean, like sometimes. Listen, sometimes you spent, $500 million and it doesn't work out.
Sometimes you spend $1 trillion.
You start over. That's America. Sometimes you just throw money at a problem and it doesn't work out for you.
Okay, so I shouldn't be harsh on Jacksonville. Oh, by the way, the Raiders are actually going to win the game versus the Chiefs.
They're going to win the game.
There's 15 seconds left. It's third and three. They are losing the game by two, and they are, if I'm not mistaken, they are on KC's 35.
Okay, that changes
So,
things. That
yeah, I
changes
would
my
say
power
so.
ranking.
I would say so because they started this drive with like 2 minutes left. They started this drive on their own 10, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, Hayden O'Connell fumbled the football. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. The Chiefs have plot armor at this point.
Jeez,
But
what?
there's a flag. There's a flag on the field. I'm watching this without sound, so I'm trying to understand what's going on. There's a flag, but right now I believe it's KC ball.
The Kansas City Chiefs have plot armor.
I mean, this is the second time that they're going to win a game that like they basically needed the field goal to win the opposing team, and the first time they blocked the field goal, the second time like the QB takes a bad snap and fumbles the football. Like, by the way, Aiden O'Connell looks like that one chubby kid that just runs around on recess with like that basically should have finished high school like 4 years ago, and he has like this weird mustache, and he's very chubby, and he just runs around the playground just doing stupid shit. He has that face, man.
Well, that's fair.
We're dissing everyone right now. We're dissing America. We're dissing Aiden O'Connell. Okay, so the
I'm just
decision is
American.
in.
I'm just American. This
Oh, it's a penalty on case. No, the penalty's declined. The penalty was on Las Vegas. It's KC ball. Jesus Christ, did they have plot armor at this point?
they do have plot armor at this point.
I have no clue what happened. What is the penalty for? But basically, like Aiden O'Connell was not expecting the snap. The snap goes against him. Like there's some guy that just kicks the football like he thought this was soccer. And then, yeah, the Chiefs clinch a playoff spot.
That's good. I'm sure you had doubts if Kansas City was going to
If you ever had
make
doubts, oh my god, I don't know.
they pretty
Like
much clinched the division with that.
you need to watch this, man. You need to watch this play. Like I don't know, they really have plot armor. I'm telling you, they have plot armor.
That's
I don't know.
crazy. And now I'm conflicted on what to make the title because the Kansas City Chiefs have plot armor is a good title.
It is a good title. Plus, if we're dropping this tomorrow, then it's going to be like right on. People are just going to jump on it.
Yeah, that's the title. The Kansas City Chiefs have plot armor.
See, I've even got you your title for the show.
Good
KC
job,
win.
Alex. You contributed.
I contributed. Okay,
You...
so game is over. KC wins by 2
By the
after
way,
plot
this is
armor.
over 2 hours, so we cannot post this on YouTube now. Good job, Alex. You just
Good
failed the
job.
YouTube fans.
Hey, that's the part that I'm then cutting from the outro. Perfect.
This
For all the YouTube lads that are never going to watch this, fuck you.
Oh.
And we get Taylor Swift. And we managed to watch Taylor Swift. Perfect. We have like Kelsey just going up to Taylor Swift apparently. Like he's just like left the field. He's the only guy, the only chief that has left the field apparently. It's Kelsey, and he's just like going down the locker room or some shit. Yeah. So, and by the way, fun game for Kelsey. Let me just make sure that I didn't miss anything because if I'm not mistaken, I barely saw him make a catch. Okay, no, he actually had 7 catches. Those are the least impressive 7 catches I've ever seen, probably.
Pretty sure. Didn't he
Because
lead Kansas City in receiving?
yeah, he led Kansas City in receiving in receptions. Receiving, it's Hopkins. He had 90 yards receiving.
Oh, gotcha.
But like those are the least impressive 7 receptions I've ever seen. I'll tell you that much. I do not remember one. Okay. What other games are there to talk about?
Brock
Because
Bowers has 140 yards. He's trying so hard out there.
Brock Bowers is like the offense, man.
You're not
Okay.
wrong.
So are the Saints sort of back? Or are they just in this weird limbo in which like
They're
they
in
are
this weird
not
limbo. They're in hell,
yeah.
man. They're in hell.
They are not as good as they showed at the start of the season, but they are not as bad as they showed in the weeks afterwards. Your beloved
I
Saints.
got nothing for them. They're them. They're them.
They're dead. Okay. The Steelers bit the Ravens on week 11 on an interesting matchup. Do you have any thoughts on that, on those two division rivals? Or we're now back on week 11, so we are
Spoiler
just
alert!
tracking back.
I'm still putting the Ravens ahead of the goddamn Steelers.
Okay, got it. But since it is damn near midnight for me here, I do think that we might have to postpone the rankings. I'll tell
The
you that
Powers
much.
are postponing the. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. That's fine.
It's damn near midnight, Angelo.
Okay,
There's
I
like
will. I will give you peace, man. I
we
will
will need to.
allow peace to reign upon you.
Okay, last 2 games that but there's like 3 games that we should. What happened to your Bengals and the Chargers?
We fucking suck.
Okay, got it. That's
Didn't
like
I
good
already go
enough
on
for
a
me.
tirade about this? Like
You
it
went on a
feels like,
tiny bit of a tirade.
but it feels like every fucking game. Joe
I
Burrow
believe
puts up the best quarterback in the league stats. He's lost 2 games where he's thrown 5 fucking touchdowns. We put up 30 points just or damn near just about every fucking game, and we give up like 34 points. To just like, well, what do you want to do about that? I don't know. Like, how do you prevent the other team from scoring 34 when you score 30? It's a misnomer. It's a possible question to answer if you're in Cincinnati. Apparently, what do you want me to say? The defense is shit. Our situational
if I'm
coaching at times has been shit. We have no running game. Joe Mixon was more important than we've ever fucking realized, and apparently T. Higgins is more important than we realized too. What do you want me to say? We fucking couldn't stop kindergartners at this point. What do you
It's a
want me to
bit
say?
rough. That's a bit rough on Chase Brown. Like he has been doing well. Come on now.
You didn't
Oh,
even like Chase Brown going into the season. What the fuck are you talking about?
hey, he is carrying me quite a bit on the league that I'm on, the money league.
You're welcome for that advice.
Hey, he's making
That
bank
makes
right
up for
now.
John
So
Ross. There you go. Now you can forgive me.
no, let's not push it. Let's not push it. But if I'm not
Of course,
mistaken,
he looks good. They're scoring 30 points every game, but we're missing that. Like, how do I say this? Joe Mixon set a tempo with us. We wore the defense down, and we held possession so that the other teams couldn't score 34 fucking points on us. And it feels like we're just scoring points just to keep up and not to, win games. We gave up 34 points to the goddamn Chargers.
that was
The
I,
Chargers
I
motto
was
is literally run the clock out.
I was going to say, didn't we sit here and we said that like, okay, we're going with the Bengals because I'm not entirely certain if the Chargers can score over 30. So you should be safe.
That was the
They
logic. The
pres-
Cincinnati Bengals defense proved both of us wrong, Alex. Anything's
and they
possible.
scored
If
30
I come here next week, no, is it next week? No, it's not next week.
next
If
week.
I come here 2 weeks from now and I have to talk about the Cowboys scoring 34 points in the goddamn Bengals, I'm surprised. Cooper Rush scored 34 points. Oh, yeah, it's easy. It's the Bengals defense. Absolutely. Let's go. Cooper Rush. 3 touchdowns.
That that was the first and so far only time the Chargers have scored over 30 points in any game this year.
Yes, I said last week.
Oh, buddy.
What do you mean, oh, buddy? What do you want to talk about?
I just feel for
What's
you
there to
at
talk
this
about?
point.
Shit, it's depressing. This is why I got on you so hard about picking the Bengals against the Steelers, because you're like, oh, well, Steelers are the same way. The Steelers are the same way. They like to hold possession and they like to pound the ball. The only reason they beat the Ravens is because they shut down the Ravens. I have no doubts this team is going to score 30 points on us. And somehow, against the best defense in the fucking league, apparently, we're going to put up like 21 or 28 points. This is what's going to happen. We're about to lose like 31 to 28. I hope you know that. And you're like, oh yeah, let's go. I know the Bengals are 4-7 and they're favored by 3.5 points, but I think I'm going to go with them. What are you saying?
But now I'm on their side. And I guess I was on their side with the Chargers as well. But I don't know. I just have this weird confidence that you're going to be able to push through.
It is weird because nothing you've seen to this point has given you any indication that you should have the confidence you have.
Didn't I fucking pick Miami?
Yes, you did.
So you shouldn't be surprised.
No, I guess not.
So there you go.
I need to lower my mic. I probably just I apologize for the volume. Like,
Hey,
yeah, I'm sorry.
I
This
I,
is
I
just so
like
annoying.
it. I like
I
it.
don't understand your fucking logic. You're insane. You're just insane for that take. You are just insane. Like, explain it. Explain like and this is the same guy. This is the same guy who literally like half an hour ago brought up statistical measurements about Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels having similar stats, but he thinks the Bengals are going to cover 3 points on good vibes. Like what? What happened to the statistics guy? Now I'm the good guy inside. Stop taking my shit. No, no, stop taking my shit. Give me an actual good fucking reason with statistics why the Bengals should be favored by 3.5
They
points against the
they
best
they
defense in the NFL.
they shouldn't. I just think you guys are going to win this game a bit because of vibes.
By over 3.5 points at that.
I think it's about. Hey, if it is 3, I really can't go and pick the Steelers purely because, like, if I already think the Bengals are going to win by 3 or something, I just rather have the 0.5 as well and just hope that it's a bit of a bigger loss, a bigger win
God,
for them.
they give
I
me a
just
heart
think like
attack.
this is the game. This is the game that you guys need to win. This is the game that is going to define your season. You're off a bye. Everyone should be mostly healthy. I just think things are going to click.
So, what do you think would happen if we won this game and then lost by giving up 30 points to the Cowboys the next week?
Nothing good
Nothing
would be
good.
my answer.
Good.
Just like
Nothing.
losing to the Cowboys alone. Hey, you know what wouldn't happen? You wouldn't fire your coach. Fairly certain about that.
No, we wouldn't. We don't fire coaches here.
You didn't fire a guy for 15 years that never got a playoff win. You're most definitely not firing a guy that got you to a Super Bowl. Didn't win it, but he got you to a Super Bowl. So you're going to
You're
have
right
to take
about
on
that.
that guy. Like he is damn near guaranteed what 30 years as an head coach for the Bengals.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean Marvin almost got to 20, so yeah, he should
Yeah,
get or not 2010. So yeah, he should get that. Yeah,
you're most
he's earned it.
definitely like he's going to play there for 20 to 30 years.
Yeah,
Have a blast.
Marvin Lewis, have a blast.
You know what who can't relate to those things? It's just the team that beat the 49ers on week 11. Like Geno Smith just dicking over the 49ers, just fucking them over, just showing them who's Danny, that they're just the scum of the earth and that like nobody liked 49ers fans. That was a
Nobody
good
likes
game.
49.
Fuck the 49ers. You know where the 49ers guys can go? Straight off and get fucked with the YouTube guys that are not going to watch this show.
Oh my. Why you gotta be
Get
such a
ready to
hater on
learn
the
podcasting,
49ers?
buddies.
Why you gotta be a hater on the 49ers, man?
Yeah, because fuck the 49ers, dude.
Fuck the 40.
It's a shitty team. Finally, they're a shitty team.
You can finally say it out loud without a mob of angry people coming to you, to your door.
Yeah, where are the sacrifices, Angelo? Where are the sacrifices?
Probably somewhere with the Bengals defense.
Yeah. See, there you go. And with the Cowboys Super Bowl hopes, as long as Jerry Jones is alive, they're all lying in the same place.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Okay.
But wouldn't
Outside
it
of
be
that,
funny if the 49ers did end up winning this division?
they're not winning it. Stop it.
But wouldn't it be funny?
The Seahawks are winning the division.
I don't even know who's winning the division, honestly. Like, gun to my head, if you told me who's the NFC West leader right now, I couldn't tell you.
It is the Seahawks.
Oh, okay. Flavor of the week team. It was the Cardinals last week. It's going to
They're
be the
tied with the
Rams' turn
Cardinals.
here in 2 weeks.
Oh, the Rams are like 2 games behind, if not mistaken.
Flavor of the week, man. Flavor of the week.
Okay. What else do we actually have to talk about? Because this is getting
Depression.
ridiculously. Jesus Christ. The show is ridiculous. This is ridiculously long as well. This is like over 2 hours almost.
It is. It's impressive, honestly.
Okay.
Would you like the torture to end like the Bengals season after
I
this
think
year?
so. I think
Okay.
so. I think we're good enough. I think we gave the listeners a lot of things. We're back to the regular stuff next week. So yeah, we pulled overtime here for you guys to sort of quote unquote apologize, except to the YouTube guys, because fuck them. Like it's just like
Just
just
fuck them.
just learn podcasting, bud. Just like download the app, and you know what you can do when you download the app, which is really easy, Angela. You can just
What's that?
go
What can you do?
to now you can go into the app. I don't know. It can be the Apple Podcasts app, it can be the Spotify app, wherever really you want to listen to the podcast. But you can just go in there. You can go to our show, and there's like a button in there that to just turn on the auto downloads. And with that,
I wish
you
there was a button
immediately
to turn
get the
on the
show.
Bengals defense
Oh no, that one is lying where? Where is that one lying? Now
with the San
that
Francisco
one is
49ers
probably
sacrifices.
yeah, and it's probably next to the Marvin Lewis playoff wins.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you can find those, you're probably going to find that button. So, but no, the button to turn on the auto downloads really exists. The button to subscribe also exists, and there's also a button that lets you leave a review on our show. So that's just great. That's all you guys need to do. It's all that we ask you to do. It's just that in this season of Thanksgiving, we're thankful for you guys.
That Alex
For
doesn't even celebrate.
yeah, but you do, and every most of our listeners, I assume, do as well. So thank you for that. And yeah, apologize for not having another show last week, but we got you 2 bangers this week. We're back to the regular stuff next week. So enjoy
Dang.
Sunday. You're going to be listening to this tomorrow on Saturday. So enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy your picks. Enjoy football. And yeah,
Not going to
thank
be
you
enjoying
guys.
watching the Bengals lose to the Steelers. That's for damn sure.
Thank you very much, guys. And I'll talk back to you next week.
So yeah.